Welcome to Shanrae's Indie Artist Panel, where she elaborates on all of the matters pertaining to the music game of independent artists with current information so you can stay on target. Independent artists gotta work, you need to know the market, and that's where Shanrae come in at to pass on to you and you her knowledge. Welcome to Shanrae's Indie Artist Panel. Welcome to Shanrae's Indie. Welcome to Shanrae's Indie Artist Panel. Welcome to Shanrae's Indie Artist Panel.
الذكاء الاصطناعي لي ولريبا. يا إلهي. انتقدت دولي بارتون صورة لها ولريبا ماكنتاير.
And welcome to Shanrae's Indie Artist Panel. And I am Shanrae. I don't know what just happened with that because I downloaded the English version and I don't know what happened when it got uploaded here. But welcome to Shanrae's Indie Artist Panel, my educational panel, my October 2025 Indie Artist Panel. So, and good evening, Shelly, Brian. Hi, Shelly. How are you over there in Instagram land? I want to say good evening to my Instagram family, Facebook family, YouTube family, TikTok family, LinkedIn family. Good evening, wherever you're watching. Good evening. In July 20 of this year, I introduced and talked about protecting our intellectual property as artists, as indie artists, indie musicians, indie filmmakers, whatever indie you are in the artistry. I talked about how we ought to protect our intellectual properties. And so I'm going to move on and then I'll play another video. Hopefully the other video is in English as well. But if not, that's all right. So before I get started, I want to quote this quote. This is so awesome. Where words fail, music speaks. And that's by Hans Christian Andersen. I'm going to say that again. Where words fail, music speaks, and that's by Hans Christian Andersen. So let's do a quick recap on what I talked about in July of this month. I talked about the 4 different intellectual properties that needs to be protected as indies, whether you're indie artists or whatever. And excuse me, let me remove that from the studio. There we go. So I talked about number 1, your copyright and protecting your copywriting. And copywriting protects your original works of authorship, whether you're an author, such as books or music or even software. Okay, that's including films and all of that as well. The second thing that I talked about was your patenting. You're patenting your original works, and so that grants exclusive rights for inventions, including products and processes. So a lot of us see on television where they talk, they have people coming on, and what is it? The show slipped my mind that quickly, but they come on and they want to get funding for their inventions and everything like that. So that's what they're talking about with patent. Trademarking. Trademark is number 3, what I talked about in July, and protecting your brand name, your logo, which uses to identify your goods and your services. So trademarking was the 3rd thing that I talked about, how you ought to, how that helps protect your original pieces of work. Hey, Melvin, how you doing? Good to see you. The 4 secrets. Now, trade secrets, that is something different. That's more confidential. That's information that provides a business with competitive edge. That's kind of like in big business, the stock market, stuff like that, you know. All right. So let's give some examples again of the intellectual properties that we were talking about back in July of what to protect. Your literary works, which is books, poems, articles. Your artistic works, which is your paintings, your sculptures, your musical compositions. Inventions, your new technologies, products, or processes. Okay, and listen, I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna keep saying it. Whatever ideas that you come up with, whether they're inventions or music or books or plays or anything like that, do not underestimate your creative, unique, your creative uniqueness. Go on and do it. Go on and do it. I'm telling you, if you thought about it, and I'm a Christian, if God gave you something, go on and do it. But protect your ideas and protect your work. All right. The fourth thing was brand names. So trademarks like Nike and McDonald's. That's an example. So trademarks, again, your brand name, whatever you're doing. Software codes. We have so many people. Hey, Joe. Hi, Joe Marie. How you doing? Do we have so many people who they're very good with software, building apps and stuff like that. Protect yourself. Copyrightable codes that powers computers and different type of apps and programs. And then the final one is industrial designs. Okay, so the visual designs of a product, like the shape of a car and stuff like that. Protect your ideas. So I'm going to say it again. No idea is too small or not important. If you think about it, if it comes to you, get it down, write it down, put it visually, talk it into your phone, but make sure you protect it. Protect your idea. Okay, so let's move on. I'm sorry, I'm moving too quick. So tonight, let me move this along, and hopefully video number 2 will work, because I want to really get in on what on protecting ourselves. That's okay. Tonight, I'm going to be talking about our rights against AI. Okay, this is something huge. AI. Our rights against AI. Okay, so as you may be aware, there has been a rapid increase of companies that are building and leveraging artificial intelligence with their music models, and they're doing this. And I'm going to be speaking a lot about music tonight because I'm a musician. Okay, but of course, this goes across the border with any type of artistic type of indie artistic, okay, indie artistry, excuse me. So, in order to promote creator interest in this environment, Sound Exchange. Okay, Sound Exchange is announcing the development of their global AI sound recording registry. Now, I'm going to open this up so y'all can see this website really quick. So let me open it. All right, I don't know if y'all can see it, but I'm going to go and put these different links inside of the comments, so y'all can have these links, so you can go and register. So in other words, Sound Exchange, the company Sound Exchange, has created a global AI sound recording registry where you can protect your indie artistry works. Okay, so this is a good thing. It'll protect you against AI and someone trying to utilize you, your music, your image, anything like that. They created a protection base. All righty then. So let me go with this. I'm gonna do my second video. Let's hope that it works. Hold on. Let's hope
Kelly
it works.
Norwood, an AI actor causing quite a stir with some stars, with celebrities like Brandon Flynn, Ben de la Creme, and Mara Wilson sounding the alarm as well. Actor Nicholas Alexander Chavez adding on Instagram, not an actress actually, nice try. The agency that created this AI character says Tilly was built using 10 different AI tools, including ChatGPT. Founder and CEO Aline Vandervelden says it's trained to, quote, perform with nuance, emotion and consistency. Right now, the character is repped by a new AI talent agency started by Vandervelden. But Hollywood is an institution, and infiltrating it isn't easy. AI, a huge battle during the massive writers and actors strikes in 2023. The unions, like SAG-AFTRA, fighting to regulate the use of AI on the big screen. They now require consent and fair compensation for any AI replications of actors. But the new contract doesn't explicitly prevent the use of AI actors in projects.
Okay, so let me go back. I wanted to share that with you all about, and a lot of y'all may have seen that on the news where there's an AI movie out that has been taken. Use the image of she works for a newscasting news station somewhere, and she found out that somebody took her image and created an entire movie based around her without her permission. She doesn't get any royalties or anything from it. Well, I'm sure that they're fighting to get that now for her, but I'm quite sure she felt violated almost when she saw that that her image had been used without her permission. So let me go back to this. I'm sorry, I'm working so many different platforms and everything. So let's go back to this with the Sound Exchange Global AI Recording Registry that has been created to protect us indie artists and artists in general from being our images and our musical artistry or our artistic creativity to be exploited and used without our permission. So let's move this along. So as a rights ownership of the Sound Exchange, Sound Exchange is reaching out to artists because they want to let them know that they're providing information about their new registry so that they can determine if you want to make a declaration to reserve your rights on this sound, on your sound recordings or anything else that's your creative or your creations. So the Global AI Sound Recording Registry will provide a much needed resource for rights owners to reserve the rights related to the use of their contents and AI models, allowing them to publicly declare that if you choose to, you can choose to if you want to, that they do not permit any exception their exclusive rights to authorize use of their sound recordings for AI, what they call AI trainings. Okay. All right, so let me move this along, make sure that I'm okay. And I'm going to open this up because here are some very important websites that I want you all to look at and snapshot it on. Because if you can go to these pages, this is where you can put your name in or put your artistry, your works in there. It'll pull up, and you'll be able to see that you're already in the database. And I said I was going to walk through them when you just click the link and it'll open up, put your name in there or whatever, and to make sure that all of your work is in there. And then you just email them and let them know three different things, which I'm about to get to right now. But let me open this up. I want y'all to take a snapshot of these websites. And then when you get the opportunity, go on Sound Exchange and protect your music and all your creative works from being utilized via AI, what they call trainings, without your permission. So I'm going to blow this up here. Okay, so as you can see, all you have to do is go to www.globalairegistry@soundexchange.com. All right, then Sound Exchange authoritative and comprehensive public ISRC database. If you go to this HTTPS and you do the /ISRC.soundexchange.com, you'll be able to see all of your works. your musical works, like, and then make sure that everything is in there, so you can protect yourself from AI usage without your permission. And then if you want to check that your company is also in there, your company's name is in that same database, you can go to https isrcsoundexchange.com to make sure that all of your creative works are successfully up in there. You don't even have to put it in yourself. I went there and my music, everything was up in there. And they just want you to double check your code, your IS, your codes, where your tracking codes, and make sure that they put everything in there right. And then we're gonna move on from here. So and I hope that y'all were able to snapshot that, because I'm only gonna be here for 30 minutes and that's it. Okay. So we already went over what Sound Exchange is doing. So Sound Exchange developed this framework of systems purposely built for the collections and distributions of your recording royalties, right? So the registry, this registry was built in addition to a Sound Exchange authoritative and comprehensive public database, where your tracks are listed, your music tracks are listed, or your literary works are listed. Companies building AI training models will be able to reference the database. They'll be able to look at it, of authorization declarations before going and trying to use your creative works, helping them to facilitate and appropriate permission. This is what Sound Exchange is doing, to help them to appropriate permissions before AI creators are capitalizing on other people's intellectual property. So I'm going back again. Sound Exchange have incorporated this database to put our art, our music, and our literary works in there, to make sure that whoever is doing the AI, whatever the film or whatever, they have to check in there first to see if the music is protected, and if so, this is the good thing about it. So what are the next steps? Participation in the Global AI Sound Recording Registry is completely free. It's free. All right, it's no cost, voluntary for all right owners. There are a few steps that can be taken now to ensure, okay, that your intentions as a rights owner are accurately reflected upon launching. Okay, so I'm going to open this very quickly, and then I'm going to close it back, and I'm going to tell you what they offer with this, and our protection rights, what's offered with this. So let me open it. Number one is that your recordings are reserved. Number two is that your recordings are contacted RO. And then the next one is that your recordings are not indicated. Let me go back with this, and I'm going to break this down. So the above statuses will be reflected in their ISRC, or where your tracking codes, code numbers, depending on your choices for each recording. If you determine that you or your company as a whole is reserving rights for its entire catalog, then with your permission, that fact will be expressed in a website directory of companies reserving your rights on all of your tracks. So the default anticipating it will be claimed as unknown. So this reflects that a rights owner's intentions have not been expressed via the registry. Note that any reservation of rights in the registry will be reversible. You can reverse this at any time, guys. Again, this is free. So it says, let us know by sending an email to Global AI Registry at soundexchange.com. Okay, and this is you should be interested in considering allowing your anything like that. The registry will offer them the ability to contact you the artist directly to address whatever licensing content or whatever we want to do with that. So Number one, to check that your company ISRC are correctly claimed, you're going to use, and I gave the database, you're going to use the ISRC search website, and through claiming and including your shares. Okay, so they're making this extremely easy for us. Hello, everybody over there. I'm going to get to y'all in Instagram land, and I haven't. I'm sorry, I haven't been checking my my sites to say hello to everybody. Okay, so it is vital to accurate royalty accountings, and will be a training models. And this is how they're coming out. They're calling it AI training models, okay, while they're using people's intellectual properties. So let me go back, because it looks like I felt like I missed something. Okay, so there are 3 statuses. I did miss something. Okay. So with your next steps, it says, let us know your interest in participating in the registry. So you're going to have to inform the companies, number one, that your recordings are reserved, which means that you have made a declaration that your recordings may not be used for AI training at all, or that your recordings are contact RO, which is your recordings are reserved and not permitted to be used for AI training, but they do have, if they have an interest in being, but we do have an interest in being content. And the third thing is that your recordings, you can claim that your recordings are not indicated, where you have not indicated the status for the sound recording for the registry, and this does not give permission or authority to do AI training. So if we do not, a sound exchange saying if they don't hear back from any of the artists, your track will be default to not indicated. But remember, you can always go back and change this later on if you want it. If you want to come up under contact me, or no, I don't want my stuff used at all for AI. All right. So implying that you have not provided the right to reservations, they strongly encourage you as an artist to provide the status for your tracks, because what they're doing is AI is they're going to use anything they feel like, anybody's creative ideas, music, lyrics, anything that they feel is not within this registry or database or is not protected, going back to your intellectual property and its protection. Okay, so let me go back to this, and let me show the video real quick. I want to show this last video.
Tweets from celebrity imposters are now landing on the account of a retired Central Florida woman.
Yeah, Cheree Austin says she knew something was wrong when Blake Shelton was using her bank account to donate funds to his charity. Here's investigator Mike Holfeld with this week's schemes and ripoffs.
Yesterday, I was getting messages from Nicolas Cage.
Meet Cheree Austin.
I have supposedly chatted with Brad Pitt.
Celebrity favorite to the stars on the Twitter circuit.
This way asking little old me, who's nobody, for money.
Cheree says she's been on a Twitter hot streak for the past 2 weeks.
Tim McGraw, here's Bruno Mars.
Getting tweets from country western, pop, and Hollywood stars.
Tom Cruise.
They just keep rolling in.
Alan Jackson.
Always ending up with the same pitch.
They're asking for money?
And they do ask for money. This was supposed to go to a charity in Canada.
This check arrived at her front door via FedEx. It's supposed to be from Blake Shelton. It's a fake.
I was supposed to let it sit in my bank for 3 hours and then go cash it and then go donate it to one of his charities.
Hey, y'all, I'm Blake Shelton. I want to talk to you about something that's important.
The celebrity imposter game has prompted this collaborative effort by stars who've just had enough.
Imposters on social media.
Their images have been used by high
with these people or send them money.
They play with your emotions, your feelings. I gotta tell people, when they start asking you for money, honey, it's a fake.
Mike Holfeld, News 6.
She is correct. So if you feel you've been targeted by one of these imposters, you can file a complaint with the Federal Trade Commission at ftc.gov.
Okay, so let me go back here. So as you can see, there these creatives, these software creatives with AI, they are using this genius of theirs by, of course, scamming people as well, using familiar mainstream artist faces and stuff to to get what they want from it. Same thing with us creatives with our music. A lot of us indies, and I know I'm big with us indie artists. Those it goes across many platforms. I've had even a rodeo indie on here about 2-3 years back, and it was amazing learning about that type of artistry. Okay, and we've had film directors, authors, everybody on here. It is imperative that we protect our intellectual property. I say it all the time that those that are unsigned and may not be mainstream as of yet has some of the best movies and music and productions, and I tell you, and it's very important for us to protect our intellectual property. Those of y'all, and even if you feel like you may not be the person that goes out and steps out, and I have a family member who she doesn't feel quite ready to go out and do her own music, but she's a wonderful a songwriter, and she has great ideas. Even if that's you, if you have great ideas, if you're a poet or something like that, but you may not feel like you're ready to go out there, still protect your intellectual property. Protect it, copyright it, trademark it, do what you have to do, protect it. And then if you feel to allow people, this is where people come in. There are even comedy writers. They may not feel like getting on the stage is their thing, but they funny, and they can write. They write for shows. They write for people. Protect your intellectual property. I've given from July. If you can go back to on my YouTube channel and watch the July show about the different ways you can protect your intellectual property, to now moving on to AI, because this is something huge, guys. AI is serious. And if somebody can take your image and get away with using your image, if they can take your voice and your sound and get away with that, there are things, again, Sound Exchange, thank God for big mogul global companies like Sound Exchange that have built protections now for us artists to be able to go and register our creative works and make sure that it's protected. So if any type of what they call AI training gets a hold of your creative works, they will have to get permission from you in order to use it and do it the right way, where the royalties and the splits and everything like that come in. So these are my final words for tonight. If you have any questions, and I think that's on here. If you have any questions, concerning this, reach out to to Sound Exchange. Go to and reach out to them on Global AI Registry at soundexchange.com, so they can set up a time to talk with you and help you better understand the services, the free services that they're offering to protect us as artists. Okay. My final words for tonight. And this is, that's what I didn't. Okay. So there is a 14-minute video that I wanted to put out there. I'm going to put the link. I'm going to want to put the link in the comments here. Let me do that right now. I'm going to do this in this comments here, and I'm going to put it on the screen. So give me a couple of minutes, guys, because y'all know I'm working all of these different screens and I'm on a couple of different things, but I wanted you on your own free time. If you can go on this on YouTube and watch this 14-minute video on how the importance of protecting your intellectual property from this very, very large growing AI move. And I'm putting it on here. I hope you all can see that. And it's YouTube. You see that. If y'all can just pause and take a snapshot of it, or you can either go in, let me put it here. if you can, let's put it there. Okay. And I just posted it in Instagram. I'm going to have to post it a little bit later on in Facebook. But if you all can see that, as a matter of fact, hold on. I have my notes in here. Let's see how this will work really quickly. And let's see if that, I'm going to put this. Can y'all see that? Yay, StreamYard. I really thank you, StreamYard, for the notes. Okay. Can y'all snapshot this and go to YouTube and look at this 14-minute video, which will help you edit music via AI. That's going to be my next, I think I'm going to move into my next show next year. And let me turn this off. My next, starting next year, my first show is going to be talking about how you can rightfully create your music and your films and your videos and through the AI way, but where you and I have to do more research on this, where you still will be able to collect your royalties and collect your money that way by putting this in, by using the AI system. That is the newest wave of creativity. It really is. But you want to make sure that you're not waiving your rights to your royalties or anything like that by going that way, by using AI. You know what I'm saying? So I think I'm going to start the year out next year talking about the proper way we can actually utilize AI and create what we're creating, but don't lose our revenue that goes along with it. All right. So it's been 30 minutes and I'm going to end it. And this was my part two on Shanrae's October 2025 Indie Artist Panel. I start the year January 2026, and I'm going to move on again. I'm going to do some more research to find out the right way to use AI technology with your creativity without losing your revenue that you're entitled to with that, because AI seems to be the new way to create, to make your movies and your videos and your music. And you know, a lot of people are doing this. We just want to make sure that while you're doing this, that you don't lose your rights to your revenue by doing this. So we're going to talk more about this January 2026, guys. So I will see y'all then. This has been Shanrae's October 2025 Indie 2, and we're going to start the new year 2026 off with how we can, if we utilize this AI, how we do not lose our revenue in the process. Thank y'all so much. See you January 2026. Have happy holidays. If you celebrate, happy holidays, and y'all be safe. Good night, everybody.
Welcome to Shanrae's Indie Artist Panel. She elaborates on all of the matters pertaining to the music game of independent artists with current information so you can stay on target. Independent artists gotta work. You need to know the market, and that's where Shanrae come in at to pass on to you and you